While the people were still at Gilgal, Joshua looked towards Jericho and saw a man with a sword in his hand. He walked towards him and said, "Are you for us or for our enemies?" The man said, "I am the captain of the Lord's army, and I've just arrived." Joshua fell down and worshiped. The captain said, "Take off your shoes because you're on holy ground." And then the Lord said to Joshua, "I have given you Jericho and its king and his army." He then gave him exact instructions on how he was to conquer the city. When the day arrived, Joshua arranged the people. He put most of the army in the front. Then he had 7 priests right behind the army, each with a ram's horn trumpet. Behind them was the ark of God, and then in the back was the rest of the army. He told the people that they were to march around the city. And while the priests blew the trumpets, they were not to say one word, but march in absolute silence. So the people marched around the city. The priest blew the trumpets, but the people walked in silence. When they were done, they went back to Gilgal and spent the night. They did this again on the 2nd day and the 3rd day, and repeated this for 6 days. Early in the morning on the 7th day, Joshua said to the people, "You will follow the same procedure, except this time. You will march around the city 7 times. And then I will tell you to shout. At that point, the Lord will give you the city. You are to kill everybody in the city, people and animals, except not Rahab or her family. You are to burn the rest of the city, but keep the gold, the silver, and things that are made of bronze and iron. These are set aside for the Lord. Be careful. Do not take anything that is set aside for the Lord, or you will be set aside for destruction." So that day they marched around the city silently 7 times while the priests blew the trumpets. At the end of the 7th time, they stopped. The priests blew the trumpets one more time. Joshua said, "Shout!" And the people shouted, and the walls of the city came down in front of them, so the army of Israel marched straight in. They killed everybody and burnt the city, except they kept the gold and the silver and things made of bronze and iron, which were set aside for the Lord. As soon as the army marched in, the 2 spies went to Rahab's house and took her and her family out safely, alive. Then Joshua declared a curse on that city. He said, "Any man who rebuilds this city will lose his firstborn son and his youngest son." And so the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout all of the land of Canaan. Rahab and her family were put safely outside the camp. Eventually, Rahab married an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. And together they had a son by the name of Boaz.